Hello everyone, today we will talk about transit Ceres. Ceres transits the 7th house. The way transit Ceres behaves in the 7th house depends on the position of the 7th house. This transit can be more prominent in your life if you already have planets in the 7th house or aspects towards the owner of the 7th house. But the basics are this. Ceres' educational function in the 7th house is expressed within the area of close interpersonal relationships, and during that time you seek comfort and security from your partner and other people important to you. You get a strong urge to foster good relationships with everyone you meet, which makes you a great partner, colleague, or spouse who truly loves. This transit finds nurturing in a close relationship, and your nurturing party comes to life just when you are in a relationship. If the position is positive, looking from the side, it is very nice to see in itself, and the partner will always have a boon in terms of what he can offer the relationship at any time where it is a matter of giving, taking and level. Your care for a healthy committed relationship will see the house person as someone to marry one day, especially if it's an overlap with someone he's romantic with. You would then tend to nurture partners, both marital and business, or attract partners who will nurture you. In romantic partnerships, the need for solid emotional foundations that cannot be negotiated is strongest at the moment of this transit. Encouragement to learn your shadow side, looking at yourself as a reflection through your relationships. The downside through harmful signs is that you become proverbially pleasant people and end up losing part, or most, of your own identity because you focus too much on supporting the identities and desires of others. Although activities with your partner refresh your soul, you are loyal and dedicate your whole world to the person you love. If you are not otherwise the type of person who simply falls easily, the transiting Ceres will only be activated if other planets confirm finding someone who is valuable. So the keywords are commitment, nurturing relationships with all your heart, like a mother. Ceres entry makes a person fairly honest, a person who gains insight into the other side, who can make a complete analysis and maintain a balance in the relationship, both in the partnership and in the business. Another negative side in this situation is that this analysis and the possibility of balancing the balance leads to a situation where either you or they will do all the unfinished business, which ultimately causes resentment and dissatisfaction, pointing out injustice, and seeking new negotiations. If this is the case, then it is much better for you to position yourself as a person who advises couples, something like a marriage clerk or business advisor, or that you are not directly involved in the whole story. So to reiterate, negative transit can also be put to good use only if you can or have the ability to transfer your balance and analysis to other people, otherwise you fall into a trap and become welded or dependent. If you are in a lawsuit, Ceres' entry will certainly bring options and settlement proposals, except in cases of negative transits or a poorly placed 7th house. Here, too, a settlement is reached due to the possibility of analysis and consideration of the other side. If the process itself begins with the entry of the planet, it certainly ends with a settlement. With the poor transits of Ceres or the bad position of the house itself, we get a situation of shifting the whole load or the whole gain to only one side, and how the whole process will look like will be shown by the map. We would like to look at one more thing with this transit. The very entry of the planet into leads to a situation of throwing all the cards on the table. In translation, about in that period you discover which people are working against you. At that moment, the truth comes to light and the true faces of the people you work with are collaborating and living. Things become crystal clear and you can point your finger at certain faces, and tell the real truth about them. Justice will be proven by analysis and the same will be ashamed. As we have already stated, in negative cases the same thing can be done, as long as it does not apply directly to you. In the end, to summarize the influence of the planet in the house, it is accompanied by a more negative trigonocracy, but only for the reason of pointing out the truth by looking at both sides. Whether the truth will bring you a good or a bad thing depends solely on your placement or the position of the house. But what we can say for sure is that after the passage, the situation is much cleaner and the relationships that have survived are much stronger. So look at both sides but be careful where you stand.